Welcome to the Hemlock State Explorer. Today we are in Lykens, Pennsylvania, in Dauphin County, in search of Love Rock, a scenic view of the valley down below. The best way to get to Love Rock is to park at the Lykens Glen baseball field parking area that you see right here. And Love Rock, the beginning of the trailhead, is actually up in that neighborhood. So we'll make our way up there. You could park along the street up there, but I chose to park at the baseball field. Looks like there's a walking path. Make our way up the walking path to the neighborhood, and then back this street, Love Rock Road. Well, that's very helpful. Is the beginning of the trailhead. Just a minute's walk through the neighborhood, we encounter another helpful sign. I'm glad this is here because if it wasn't, I would think we were on a driveway to someone's private property. And there's another helpful sign up ahead pointing us in the direction of Love Rock. And the trail to Love Rock proper starts here, and it's only 0.35 miles. Okay, now we're entering the woods, and you can read about, if you're interested, the legend of Love Rock, and we'll post that at hemlockstateexplorer.com. And let me point out that the beginning of the trail to Love Rock skirts multiple private properties, as you can see through the woods. And for the sake of everyone else who wants to enjoy this, please do be respectful of private property. After a short, brisk walk on an easy trail, we've arrived at the rock formation, Love Rock. And you can see the scenic views of Lykens Glen down below. A lot of pine in this area. Most of the trees have dropped their leaves already, but you can still see a few colorful trees in the hillside. The short version of the legend of Love Rock is similar to other Indian legends that we've heard, especially with the King and Queen seat at Rocks State Park in Maryland, which you can see the full adventure at hemlockstateexplorer.com. But essentially the story goes there were two brothers exploring the mountains around the Lykens Glen area and had heard of a white settler girl that was abducted by local Indians. So they decided to investigate, and when they came down from the mountains and saw the beautiful glen, which you are seeing below, sans the water tower, of course, they came across a huge feast in the valley among the Indians. So they decided to go down and investigate, and they were actually welcomed by the friendly Indian tribe and were given leave to wander around the area. And in their wanderings, they encountered in one of the shelters the abducted settler woman that they had heard about. The settler girl communicated her situation to the two brothers by performing a chant in English, which apparently her Indian captors did not understand, and she revealed to them that she had indeed been abducted and that tomorrow she would be forced to marry the Indian chief's son, who was madly in love with her. They hatched a plan that, under the pretense of going into the woods to pray for their wedding, that one of the brothers would meet her up here by these rocks with a horse, and that the other brother on a horse would create a diversion and get the tribe to follow after him. So the settler maiden obtained the Indian chief's permission to go into the woods and pray for their marriage. And as planned, the one brother was waiting for her with a horse, and the other brother caused a diversion, not a very good diversion apparently, because part of the warriors had followed after the brother and soon captured him and killed him. And then the other brother with the maiden took a horse up the side of the glen, and when they approached these rocks, they heard the Indians in pursuit closely behind them. So for reasons that I don't understand, they ran the horse off of the cliff, apparently to create another distraction, and then they fled on foot through the woods and over the mountains, and eventually ran into other settlers who took them in, and they escaped to safety. But then the Indian chief's son, who was in love with the maiden, was so distraught over his wedding plans being ruined that the story goes that he came up to these rocks and lived here as a hermit, mourning for his bride that never was. I'm sure most, if not all of that, is fiction, but at any rate, that is the myth of Love Rocks. And you can find the full adventure, along with all of our other adventures, at hemlockstateexplorer.com. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, we can't wait to see you on the next adventure.